Hello, hello. This reading is for Taurus sun, moon, and rising signs. So this is going to be a love and relationship reading for the month of March 2018. I'm going to do the stop, start, and continue spread. Okay, so what should Taurus stop doing in their love relationships? And what should Taurus start doing in their love relationships? And what does Taurus need to continue doing in their love relationships? So what I got for stop doing is the Empress. Now, this card is from the Major Arcana, so any card from this group is talking about life's major events and changes. And with the Empress is usually about abundance and fertility and growth and things continuing to grow and be abundant. But I think in this case, if it's in the stop position, that it's kind of saying that maybe you are giving too much of yourself. As Taurus, you're very grounded, you're loyal, you love being at home, you love creating a very stable home life. But in this case, I think that maybe with your focus on your material world, you may not be going into your heart as often as maybe necessary. So this seems that this card is that you're maybe giving too much to yourself, and maybe it's time for you to also maybe take a look at yourself and how much love you're giving yourself. So maybe self-love, maybe you need to take better care of yourself, go for walks, go for a walk. I said that. Go for a walk, go to the park, go walk in the ocean. What else could you do? Take a bath, light candles, make dinner for yourself, go out for dinner. I feel like doing things maybe abundant for other people is what you're really used to. But I think now is a better time for you to maybe take a look at yourself and be more abundant towards yourself. This is a great card, so I don't think it's super negative that you maybe you're too giving, but I think it's distracting from you being fulfilled within yourself, and so you need to take more time and take a look at where you are at and how you are taking care of yourself, okay? And so the next card that I pulled is the King of Pentacles. So this is what you have to start doing. So this is interesting because I feel like they're kind of similar in nature, kind of like abundant in your material world. But I feel like if you're supposed to start this, I think it's bringing in the king's energy. So this particular king is he's very strong in his convictions. He's very stable. He's grounded. So maybe in this sense that you might be being too compassionate, because women and the feminine energy tend to be very compassionate. So yes, compassion is great. Empathy is fantastic, but sometimes you could be too compassionate, too empathetic. And so I think this king is telling you to, as opposed to be so giving, is to kind of take a little more of the masculine energy and be a little more controlled in your emotions and controlled with how much of yourself you are giving to the other person. This king is very, very abundant. It's one of the best money cards in the deck. So it's also saying that maybe start being in control of your money. So rather than maybe being really frivolous and spendthrift and sharing and maybe invite everybody else to dinner and taking care of everybody's tab or that type of thing, like a very generous attitude, which is great. But maybe you're going to be generous, maybe be it specifically towards a charity or towards something in a stable situation, like in an institution, as opposed to just frivolously sharing your wealth. This king is a little bit more controlled with how he spends his money, and so I think that money or his abundance or his material gifts to the world. So it could be even as if you're always helping people, like teaching people or tutors, or anytime that you're giving too much, I think this king is telling you to like stop giving as much to other people. So if we're talking about relationships, then maybe you are coming across a little bit too feminine, um, and that maybe you should take a more masculine approach and to not necessarily be less generous, but just to be a little bit more contrived and controlled with how you share. I'm saying wealth because it's a pentacle, so your material world. So it could be your home. Maybe you're allowing people to live with you, but they're not paying rent. Um, yeah, just get more and more control of your financial material situation within your love relationships. That's what it's telling you to start doing, getting more control. And then continue doing, which is really interesting, is the Six of Swords reverse. Now, upright, it's usually moving from a troubled past into, clearer waters. But it's reversed. So when I see reverse cards, it tells me that there's a block potentially, maybe external, internal, or external, or sometimes it's that you haven't learned the lesson of the previous card. In this case, the previous card is the Five of Swords. So this could be telling me to continue to really be strong in your convictions. The Five of Swords is kind of about a battle, and swords are about air, so it's like kind of like a battle of wits, maybe arguments and people getting their points across. And then the fighting's happening, say, here, and you're moving away from these troubled waters over into smoother waters. So I think it's saying that continue being clear in your convictions within your relationships. Make sure that your point is heard and well taken, and also do make a commitment to listen a lot as well. As much as like air's, like the sword sign is air, and it's head and speaking and throat. I think that the ears are also involved in that communication passage. So I think that to continue within your relationship, to be really to listen and really communicate your ideas and understand where your partner is coming from. And that's whether you're in a relationship or not. Listening and allowing the other person to be heard and speaking with conviction, and hopefully they're going to hear you, is what you need to be continuing to do in your love relationships this month. So I hope that resonated with you, Taurus. Again, was for Taurus rising sun and moon signs. I'm Miss T Arrow, or Miss T Arrow, and I'll be back next month. So please subscribe right over here and share this video with your friends. You can find me on Instagram at Misty, MISTY_Arrow, or mistyarrow.com. Take care.